Welcome to the Oklahoma Adult Education and Family Literacy FERPA training. FERPA stands for the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. It is a federal law that protects the privacy of student education records. FERPA applies to any educational agency that receives federal funding, including adult education. Under FERPA, students have the right to review their educational records, request amendments to their records, and control the release of their education information to outside agencies and individuals. Educational records include those records, files, documents, and other materials which contain information directly related to a student and are maintained by the adult education program. A student's health-related records that are maintained by an AEFL program may qualify as education records also. Directory information can be shared if the information was provided in an annual notice. A student can decide to opt out within the specified time in the directory notice. For example, a school provides a FERPA notice with directory information in their handbook. They include the list of graduates for their adult education program in their annual notice. If a student didn't want their name included in the graduation program, they would opt out within the specified time included in the notice. Within adult education, the most important consideration with respect to FERPA is confidentiality. As an AEFL teacher or staff member, you have a legal responsibility under FERPA to protect the confidentiality of student records and information. All student records must be maintained in a secure location, and only essential personnel should have access to those records. Also, it's important to pay close attention to student age. If you're working with an adult student, you need that student's written permission to provide others with their education information, including their parents. If the student is 16 or 17, you would need consent from the parent to release information. Oklahoma AEFL programs must have a signed consent to disclose personally identifiable information. Personally identifiable information includes, but is not limited to, the student's name, the name of the student's parent or family members, the address of the student or the student's family. A personal identifier, such as the student's social security number or student number, a list of personal characteristics that would make that student's identity easily traceable, or other information that would make that student's identity easily traceable. Typically, confidentiality is discussed during the intake process. It is important to establish trust and reassure the student that their information is kept confidential unless they want that information released. Students must sign a release before information is shared with other agencies or individuals if it is not included in the annual FERPA notice as directory information. Remember, you have a legal obligation to keep student information and records confidential. Some people are curious and may ask questions about a student. Do not disclose information verbally or provide them with written information unless you have a signed release form or they're a staff member that needs the information to work with the student. If you have questions about FERPA, please reach out to Oklahoma AEFL state staff for assistance. Thank you for attending the Oklahoma Department of Career and Technology Education's AEFL FERPA training.